Hey everybody! What's up, you petty bitches? Welcome to the new season of Toxic Trolls. It's either season 2 or season 3. But anyway, this footage is actually from season 1, 2.9? Season 2.9? I don't know. Season 3, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. But today we're going to be talking about addiction. It's actually a serious topic. So I want to let you guys know that this video comes with what we call a trigger warning for addicts. So if you are an addict, you might want to skip this episode because there are some things in here that might trigger your addiction, just to let you know. You might know Shandi from Facebook. She is a unique presenter who suffers from addiction. I'll let her tell her story. Without further ado, let's go over to the TV that I have set up over here and we'll watch the show. Presenting the interview with Shandi.
Hey guys, my name is Shandi. I'm an addict, well, a recovering addict. And I'm so happy to be here to share my experience, strength, and hope with all of you guys.
Hey everybody! Yep, I probably already introduced it by saying hey everybody, so you get 2 hays today. Anyway,
Hey!
3!
So excited!
We've had a lot of shows, and a lot of them are talking about scammers, stuff like that. But I did also want to bring some positivity to the show, and I think you guys remember Shandi from a few months ago. She was dealing with some addiction, and recently she's been putting out some lives. She seems to be doing a lot better, and we noticed that in the group. And I'm happy to have you on to talk about your experience.
Yes, I'm so excited to do that because it gives so many people hope. Whether they're recovering addicts or they're in active addiction, my story, I've gotten so many messages from women that says, hey, I'm depressed and I'm dealing with anxiety, and I watch her videos, Shandi, and it just calms me. It just brings me back down and gets me out of bed. And that right there means everything to me because I've been there. And the thing of it is people don't see this, but addiction can be for anything. Caffeine, smoking cigarettes, nicotine.
I've got that.
Food,
I'm doing
so many things. Vaping?
right now.
Snuff. Right? Well, that's okay. But what gets me the most about it is people are so understanding about the addiction of nicotine, addiction of food. Does that make sense? But whenever we talk about recovering or trying to recover from drugs or the active addiction that is killing people, and people don't want to do the Narcan. They think that their tax money should not be spent on Narcan to save lives.
What is Narcan?
Okay, Jay, so Narcan is a blocker for opiates. It can be given by paramedics, law enforcement. I even have 2 things of Narcan on hand just in case I run into an overdose somewhere.
So Narcan is something that can counteract an overdose and save lives.
Absolutely. And over a year ago, May of 2018, I tried to commit suicide by eating antidepressant medications. And I was hit with Narcan twice. And I don't remember. And, that's when my seizures started. And that's just a place, it's so hard for me to go to. I talked about this on a live video the other day about my thinking of overdosing. And some of it is very self-centered, but that's what addiction is. Self-centeredness, self-righteousness. It's just, about self and self only. You Okay, so I have 2 kids, as most of you know.
Mm-hmm.
I love my kids more than anything in this world. Okay? And people are like, think about your kids. Think about your kids. You think I didn't think about my children every single day that I was using? I'm sure everybody knows of Justin, my ex-husband, the father of my kids.
Is that the hot one on your Facebook?
The hot one. Absolutely. The one that I spent 17 years with, giving everything to, and my heart is just broken right now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, but guess how old I was whenever we started dating?
How old were you? Oh.
17 years, on and off, mostly on.
How old was
2
he?
kids. He is 31, but
How
he's
old
like
was he when he met you?
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was a little bit like, whoa, wait, whoa. Okay, so you guys met young love, starting out, getting to know each other.
We met at a teen center. I cannot live another second living this life, but I can't live without this man I love with everything inside of me. So I had my antidepressants, which was Wellbutrin, and I swallowed over half of the bottle that was just newly refilled. And then I had my first seizure about 30 minutes later. Snapped out of it. I don't remember any of the seizures. And about 30 minutes later, I seized again. Didn't even know it. So 911 was called. There was cops. There was EMS people. One of the best and my favorite cop in the county, he was begging me to go get checked out. He was begging me to go to the hospital because he knew that I was going to die. And I don't know if he knew I was going to die because of the overdose or because Justin was going to kill me. Or he was going to kill me. So when this officer was almost in tears over this, and I'm not related to him or anything, I got up and I got in that ambulance. I was like, okay, for you all, I'll do it. Let's go get checked out. They got me in the ambulance, and before they even pulled out, I started seizing again. And that's when they started hitting me with Narcan. I thought Narcan was a blocker, like a reverse effect, snaps you out of the overdose, right? I thought that was like for opiates and stuff like that. He ended up having to hit me twice with Narcan before we got to the hospital. By the time we got to the ER, they couldn't do anything with me. They had to fill me up with Ativan, which is
I know Ativan.
Yeah. Well, for people that don't know, it's like a very, very small dosage of Xanax. When people are saying, get rid of Narcan, quit spending our tax money on it, in reality, if people don't realize this, Narcan is less than $100 per, they have the nasal spray, they have the shots, they have the, where they put it in your mouth. All of those units are less than $100. Okay, if that person dies and has nobody to cover funeral costs and burial costs, guess where that money's coming from? Tax money. Talking about the Ativan and pills in general, that's why I was always for the pills, not the alcohol, not marijuana, because I used to smoke some marijuana now in high school. And then I moved up to buying Adderall off of a guy that I went to school with and got busted. Zero tolerance policy, kicked out, expelled for a year. So I stayed clean. I had been doing cocaine and everything from 15 to 18. No, 17. Because I got pregnant at 17. And just so happened to stop doing that cocaine every single day, all day long, because the guy I was with was dealing it. So I really started getting into the drug game Well, honestly, at 15 with the ex-boyfriend. But like the pill habit that I couldn't break without help, was about I was about 20 or 21.
Now, were the pills you would crush them up and inject them?
Um, yes, and then I started out snorting them.
Hmm.
Then I would shoot them.
Hmm.
Then I would snort them because I had no veins. I ran out of veins.
That gives me major. I am terrified of needles and stuff. So talking about needles is just, ugh, that gives me.
I
You know,
understand.
I've never donated blood plasma because of that, and people are like, you can make money, and I'm
Right.
like,
And the things.
I can't go
And
over there.
I understand what you're saying, Jay. I'm an addict. I will always be an addict because if I do one, okay, like the literature in Narcotics Anonymous, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And that's a very true statement. So both of my children have both parents that are addicts,
And
and
you're
that scares
afraid
me.
that they will become addicts or pick up that
Yeah,
behavior at some point?
behavior, Jay, and a lot of people will say no, but a lot of it does have to do with genetics. Um, my dad was an addict. His dad was an alcoholic. I had a lot of people in my family on my dad's side that is alcoholics and addicts. So why would I not think it was anything genetic? You know, it's just these people, they don't have an open mind. The stigma of addiction is ridiculous, and we need to educate. I'm so ready to educate because it is such changing a person's mind about addiction is very hard, because you get the argument of is it a disease?
Hmm.
That's the biggest argument with
That
addiction.
now, my question. That is a good question. Is it a disease? Like when people think of diseases, they think more like crabs or
Cancer.
cancer
Okay,
or AIDS is a disease.
sure.
But
I would love to explain.
isn't addiction a behavior?
Okay, addiction is a disease. It is a disease of choice, and that's what I started on my high school story,
Hmm.
right? So let me start there. Jay, you and I go to the same high school. We're going to the same party, right?
Hmm.
And we're offered a line of cocaine or a line of Oxycontin. Let's say Oxycontin because I like the pills, right? Okay, you and I both do the same amount of a line,
Hmm.
okay? And you don't think the next day that I need another one, right?
Hmm.
On the other hand, I'm an addict, but I have not fed my addiction yet. You following me? Okay?
Kinda. So
Until
you're
I,
saying that there's a predisposition for it in certain people.
yes, yes, it's in everybody. But whether or not, okay, say you and I both do the same amount of the same thing. You are going to be free and do it whenever you want to, but you never depend on it. My brain, the oh my goodness, the receptors,
Hmm.
the receptors, mine are probably 3 or 4 times bigger than yours. All it took for an addict was that first sip of alcohol, that first pill, that first line of cocaine, and something in their brain flipped. When you're going through withdrawal, there's nothing more painful in this world than withdrawal. You're irritable,
Hmm.
you're cold chilling, you're hot sweating at the same time. Hot sweating. Sorry, you're just sweating.
Hmm.
Um, and the worst part, I can deal with all of those withdrawal symptoms. The one thing that about killed me, Jay, and about made me go back to doing it is the restless leg syndrome. your legs will cramp and cramp and cramp. Or they'll cramp and they'll just jerk, like muscle spasms. And it put me in tears. It put me in tears. I cannot do the restless legs. But by the time I walked out of rehab, I was over the worst of it.
Now, when we first saw you on live, you were doing drugs off camera.
You mean when?
Like, this was months ago. This was months and months ago. Are you referring
to when I started Unique back in 2016? You know what I'm saying?
It would have been, goddamn, I think it would have been maybe February or December? Not February. January or December, sorry. January or December.
This past?
Yeah, this past January or December.
No, I was not doing drugs. Okay. My doctor had put me on a medication. Neurontin.
What's Neurontin?
It is it's an anticonvulsant. It is like people with diabetic nerve pain. It's for like nerve pain. It has many uses. Withdrawals.
Was it helping you with your addiction?
Absolutely not. Because a lot of people are going to know what Neurontin is. And even taking the right dosage, when you take it for the first time, you are loopy. Very loopy. And I was put on it for, I have shooting pains down my legs to my ankles. Not from restless legs, though. Totally different pain. And then my seizures, it's an anticonvulsant. So it helped a few things with me. But when I first started taking it, until my body got used to it, it did make me loopy, but not necessarily high. February 4th, 2018 is my clean date.
So it's been over a year.
Yes, sir. And on my live that day, back in February, there was so many of my girls there cheering me on. And you know what, Jay? Actually, that live video that I'd done, there was a girl that recognized the date because I'd said it so much, and I didn't even realize what that date was. That changed that day. I couldn't have been happier. Because when you've been working on yourself and you've been trying to change the things that you hate, and you're also trying to build up your self-confidence because this abusive relationship you've been in has beat you down into the ground where you can't dig yourself out of a hole, plus your addiction. So, I am a very, very, I'm like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I love to talk with my hands.
One kid, and I say kid now, but he was a little bit older than me. I was like, I want to say I was like 20-something.
Right.
And he showed me his arms, and he asked me for a place to stay because he said that once his parents see that he has needle marks in his arms, they're going to kick him out. And I said, no, your parents aren't going to kick you out. Why would they check you for needle marks? Because he said, oh, because this is the last time. And I'm like, well, if you knew you were going to be kicked out, then why didn't you just not
I can answer that.
Put needle marks in you?
I can answer that. Because when you are stuck in the pits of hell of addiction, nothing else matters except for that next high. Like I said at the beginning, my kids are my life. I love my kids more than anything, Jay. But addiction will... It is just, it's so easy to understand, but it's so hard to explain. And you just have to have that next high. There's nothing more important than that next high. That doesn't mean you don't care about your kids or you don't love your kids. I lost my children. I'm working to get them back. But my kids were always well taken care of. They ate. They were clothed. They were clean. But I was dirty. I was high a lot. My kids, 10 and 12, well, she'll be 11 this month. He'll be 13 next month. They started acting as adults about 2 years ago. Today, my daughter was talking about her birthday party. We had already talked. She's going to have friends over to stay the night at my house. And then she's going to go to her daddy's so they can ride the four-wheeler and this and that. You know, I live in an apartment. They can't be loud. 7 little girls. No, it's not going to be okay. And you know what my daughter said to me today, and it broke my heart. She said, Mommy, I'm just 10. Why did I have to sit and plan out my whole birthday party? Jay, my kids will say stuff like that to me, not intending to hurt me. Their intentions aren't bad. But they're right. They are so right. They should be so innocent. They are innocent. They didn't ask for this. My kids, they're with my mom. My mom's a wonderful person. She's, I don't know what I'd do without her. Okay? My mom's not emotionally supportive, but she loves me, and she is taking care of my kids. But my daughter, she is 10 going on 30. And it's just, I'm getting ready to get into the story of what happened to me tonight because my daughter has to be an adult. I'm so
You want to talk about your hands, you said, because you know people ask you about your hands.
Okay, so all the time I get on my line, hey, what's wrong with your hands? And I say it all the time because the truth is the truth, and it may help somebody. Whenever I was using, this has been 4 or 5 years ago since, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a while. I would not do drugs anyway, but through the veins.
Through the veins of your hand?
Okay. I'll tell you this. I've shot in every vein and every body part. Every body part.
I'm terrified of needles myself.
Let me show you something, Jay. I'm gonna see if you can see it close up. After I stuff my face. Tell me if you see a vein where blood can be taken in my arms. Hang on.
It won't. Yeah, it's not giving me a good enough picture.
Well, do you see any blue whatsoever?
No.
That's what my other one looks like too. There's no track marks, but there's no veins. Now,
so your veins are closed off.
Well, they're collapsed. There's no blue in my palms. There's no blue on my hands. Whenever I've collapsed those veins. So basically those veins are dead. And when you just say I just had 2 veins in this hand, how is oxygen and blood going to pump at its normal pace through my hand and out? I have restricted blood flow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because I did blow so many veins through IV drug use. I mean, I was shooting in my palms. I was shooting in my fingers.
Didn't any of that hurt?
Oh, no, because whenever you are using a needle to inject your dope, I got more addicted to putting the needle in, pulling back the plunger, and watching that blood flow into that syringe. That was more satisfying than the high.
Because you knew you were going to get the high.
No.
Why?
And I'm not the only one. If you ever run into an IV drug user, and you ask them, hey, when you've had no dope, have you ever shot water? And I guarantee you 99% of them will say yes.
You've shot water before?
Absolutely.
Wow. And just to see that, just to feel that, and to see that
To see
effect.
that blood and to feel that water move through my veins. Absolutely. And I've always told people this too. Um, somebody that I'm talking to has never done, tried their dope that way. And they're like, man, I would love to try to shoot up and see what it's like. And I'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Warning label coming from my mouth. You do that. And one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to fucking love it. When people get help, it's usually because they have hit rock bottom.
What does rock bottom look like?
That's what I was getting ready to say. Rock bottom is different for everybody. Everybody. This girl over here could be, overdosing after committing a crime, so having to go to jail and do jail time. Mm-hmm. That could be her rock bottom. My rock bottom, I still had a roof over my head. I wasn't starving. I had everything I needed, but I lost my babies.
So if I wanted to go get a Suboxone, I could just go get one today?
You go to the clinic, you walk in, you give them your $150 for your first time visit, $100 a week. What? But you go, you see the doctor, you say, I'm addicted to opiates. Boom. There you go. There's your prescription.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, it is nothing like going to a medical doctor and saying, Doc, my back's killing me. I need some more.
So they don't even test they don't even test your blood before giving those medications out?
Urine, but it don't matter what shows up. Heroin was the drug that gave birth to Suboxone, Subutex, and I can't even think of the other one. Dang.
Oh, I think I know this one. That's what Anna Nicole Smith was on, right? And she died?
Yeah.
What was that? Gosh. I forgot. But I remember.
That's going to drive me crazy.
Oh, well, I'm going to look it up right now so we don't go crazy. What?
I have to say this. As a recovering addict that could have died, your life is important. You matter. Remember that your addiction does not define you. We are good people. We're not bad people. We just made a choice and we couldn't stop. There's help out there. Please go get it. If you need help finding a rehab or finding resources to get clean, please reach out to me. I hope Jay can tag my or put in the description below my Facebook.
Description below.
To my haters. Especially the ones that think I'm on drugs. When I moved in this apartment, my life changed in so many ways. My depression is not near anything bad. My anxiety, I hardly ever deal with. Well, except Justin's come home. Moving and being somewhere where you feel welcome and at home. And, where I was at, you guys, that was a dope house. Those other adults were bringing in meth and pills. And it was a constant battle for me every single day to fight against it. It was so hard. Hardest thing I've ever done. When you change a surrounding that is so much better for you mentally, my life changed. That's when everybody noticed the difference in me. So before you start to call me out and try to tell me that I'm doing this and I'm doing that, please try to remember that my situation and my circumstances changed dramatically. I just want to give other addicts hope and strength and experience. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me. Trust me. If you don't, fine, but still reach out to me. Please don't suffer. Your life's not going to get any better. You started this addiction for one reason. It was to have fun. Is it still fun, y'all? Like I said, it's different from everybody. For everybody. So reach out. Please reach out.
I hope you learned as much as I did. If you do want to reach out to Shandi for help with addiction or anything like that, her link is in the description below. Hope you guys enjoy season 2 of ToXic Trollz. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna play us out with some credits. Or should I do the poop? Should I like poop? Wait, hold on. Let me, I'm gonna poop out of here. Hold on. Let me do it.
I don't have my phone.